Once upon a time, an ex-HP employee and Steve Jobs came together to work for Atari to build arcade games. A few years later, they would go on to change the face of computing as you know it. Gentlemen, I present to you Apple II. Now everybody knows computers were initially meant for business only and the people in lab coats. Now eventually computers have evolved into something being on your wrist. So what really triggered this change? Enter in the microprocessor with its uncountable number of transistors actually made this change possible. Now launched in 1977, the Apple II specs were something like this. For context, you would need close to 8 lakh Apple IIs just to download a Call of Duty. 8 lakh Apple II equal to 1 Call of Duty storage. The CPU itself was designed by an ex-Motorola team, had up to 3510 transistors. Now, isko bhi context mein dalte hain. You would actually need 4.5 million of those processors equal to one Apple M1. That's how far we have come from 1977. Now, even for that time, Apple II had stiff competition from IBM, Atari, and get this, even Radio Shack. Now, they had their own custom computer which was outselling Apple II at that time. But where Apple II really shined was their quirks and features. It had basic pre-installed on the ROM, matlab hard disk, so that a lot of people could just get going and write their own programs. Now a lot of people created a lot of stuff on this, मतलब बहुत कुछ random चीजें बनाई, but the actual inflection point came when किसी ने VisiCalc करके एक software बनाया, which was actually prehistoric version of Excel, and since then Apple II sales just went bonkers. But that's not all. The Apple II also had another trick up its sleeve. You could actually open up the Apple II and it had 9 expansion slots which you could use for anything, मतलब hard disk हो गया, network के लिए हो गया, whatever. So yeah, it was expandable. Now combine this with custom coding and expansion. So basically these were the ingredients of the world's first custom computer. So yeah, Apple was kind of the first company to actually introduce the concept of custom computers at a large scale. Now that's extremely ironic if you ask me. I'll not get into the reasons why, but yeah. And all of these points kept the Apple II in production for 16 long years. And that's 6 million units, by the way. In 1984, Apple surpassed this by releasing the Macintosh, but that's a story for another time. So thank you for watching. Let us know in the comments if you like this series and want us to keep it going. Cheers.